It now seems that the LGBTQ community is feeling the heat from YouTube, and they're filing a lawsuit. This story from The Verge. LGBTQ YouTubers are suing YouTube over alleged discrimination, including suppressing video recommendations and demonetization. And I, for one, completely agree. I don't know about suing because, as we've heard over and over again from the left, quote, but my private platform. But I will stress, LGBTQ content is not exclusively left-wing or social justice-y, like regressive, right? There are a few LGBTQ creators that I think do a fantastic job. I'm only really going to name two, so forgive me anybody else, but there's Ariel Scarcella and there's Blair White, for instance. Most of you probably know Blair, but Ariel does great content too, and she is another one of these LGBTQ creators. I don't know if she has anything to do with the suit. I don't think so. But I want to stress, when I come out and say, hey, don't ban this person because, first they come for this person, then they come for this, the cliff erodes and censorship gets worse, and now we are seeing it. I mean, this has been going on for a while. So perhaps a lawsuit is something that needs to happen, but I gotta stress, YouTube is within their right currently to do whatever they want. I happen to disagree with that. I don't know if I support a lawsuit, but something needs to change. People should have the right to make content and express themselves, and if YouTube is the only game in town, they shouldn't be deranking people for talking about who they are and how they feel. But let's read this story and get a better understanding of what's happening with this lawsuit. Now, before we do, make sure you head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. But of course, the best thing you can do is share my video because YouTube is, as we're learning now, they're deranking everybody. They're not just deranking me, they're deranking LGBTQ creators. So I will say, if you like my commentary and think, people should hear it, we have to combat that deranking. So you have to recommend me because YouTube is less likely to do so. And then I'll also give a shout out, because we're talking about LGBTQ creators, to Ariel Scarcella and Blair White. You can follow them too because they're probably getting, Blair especially, considering Blair is political and, LGBTQ, probably getting deranked a lot worse than I am. But let's read. The Verge writes, a group of YouTube creators is suing YouTube for allegedly discriminating against their LGBTQ-focused videos by suppressing recommendations and making it difficult to earn ad revenue. The lawsuit alleges that YouTube uses unlawful content regulation, distribution, and monetization practices that stigmatize, restrict, block, demonetize, and financially harm the LGBT plaintiffs and the greater LGBT community. The lawsuit also alleges that both YouTube's machine learning moderation tools and human reviewers unfairly target channels that have the words such as gay, bisexual, transgender in the title. YouTube is engaged in discriminatory, anti-competitive, and unlawful conduct that harms a protected class of persons under California law, the lawsuit states. It alleges that YouTube's actions have violated federal and California laws around speech, discrimination, and false advertising. Gotta stop here. That's not true, okay? I gotta say, I don't know what they're alleging or what's in their document, but I gotta say, there was an interesting conversation I had with David Pakman a while ago where he said, I was wrong. I said, why should Twitter and Facebook be allowed to discriminate based on protected class? And he says they're not. Twitter isn't banning you because you're gay. They're banning you for your speech, which might support being gay. And that's actually a really good point. And I said, you're right. That's how they're getting around this restriction. Civil rights law says you can't ban someone for being gay. It says nothing about banning, or you can't discriminate, but it doesn't say anything about discriminating against someone for talking about gay stuff, right? So it's interesting because let's say somebody goes into your bakery and they happen to start telling everyone that they're gay. If you kick them out, they could argue you kicked them out for being gay. You could actually just say, no, they were bothering customers. Now, whether or not you win is up to the judge. In this instance, though, YouTube is using a First Amendment defense that they don't have to support speech they don't like. That's a constitutional guarantee. Has nothing to do with discrimination laws. But let's read on. The complainants, Brett Summers, Lindsay Amer, Chris Knight, Celso Dule, Cameron Steele, Chrissy Chambers, and Chase Ross have spoken out about YouTube's alleged treatment of the LGBTQ creator community in the past. In June 2018, Ross accused YouTube of age gating and demonetizing his videos simply because he used the term transgender in his video titles, fighting a sneeze by the way, and metadata. YouTube's alleged discrimination pushed Ross to publish a lengthy video on the subject. Quote, I don't feel like people take us seriously and it needs to change, Ross told The Verge at the time. YouTube really needs to start paying attention to this community. I don't feel like I belong on a platform that I and other LGBTQ plus individuals helped build. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Everybody always gets mad at me when I pronounce her name wrong, said just last week that YouTube does not automatically demonetize LGBTQ content. Right. You see, that's that content. But what do they automatically demonetize? Maybe there are certain words that are peripheral. You see, how they can get away with this stuff is like, let's say they found a correlation between the words, LGBT and trans. Well, they can argue trans is just a word that has various meanings, and we demonetize that. It has nothing to do with LGBTQ, and oh, there you go. They're going to be able to take you down and then lie about it because they're not technically lying. And this is how these companies can pull it off. There's no policies that say if you put certain words in a title that will be demonetized. Wojcicki told the vlogger Alfie Days. We work incredibly hard to make sure that when our machine learns something, because a lot of our decisions are made algorithmically, that our machines are fair. There shouldn't be any automatic demonetization. Yeah, there shouldn't be, but every single video I make is automatically demonetized, so please stop with the lying, Google. We know it's true. And then a day later, every one of my videos, like 95%, are approved because I don't swear, I barely quote offensive people, and I'm doing commentary on mainstream news stories. I am like the most tepid milquetoast fence sitter on this platform, and even I am getting demonetized. Let's read on. Wojcicki also said that two of YouTube's biggest moderation tools, one that focuses on recommending videos, and the other that determines whether a video is appropriate for ads, operate independently. The systems, she added, are set up separately to ensure the systems are fair. Well, they're not. Still, her comments come after years of frustration from the LGBTQ community. Many creators first voiced their concerns at the company in 2017, arguing that their content was seemingly hidden and demonetized. Hey, kind of like political commentary in general, huh? Just a couple of months later, YouTube found itself in another controversy after anti-LGBTQ ads started appearing on videos from LGBTQ creators. Right, that's because people were choosing to do it. YouTube recently embroiled in a controversy after the company allowed conservative pundit Steven Crowder to continue uploading videos despite using his channel to make homophobic remarks against Vox journalist Carlos Maza in June. I'll stop and say I don't see them as homophobic. I see them meant as just personally insulting and weren't meant to be a derisive based on, Carlos Maza being gay. He was doing what comedians do and picking on somebody. So I think, how you want to define it, fine, it's up to you. But it's really annoying how they act like YouTube should have special rules for Crowder and not for Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry, Jimmy Kimmel once appeared in blackface. Okay, we gonna ban him for that? Let's move on. Despite finding language that was clearly hurtful, the videos as posted don't violate our policies because they recognize they'd have to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel and everybody in comedy, basically. They say the company tweeted a couple of days after Maza made his case public on Twitter, and they do mention that Verge is a Vox publication, and Carlos Maza works for them for the time being. They may not be true for much longer. As an open platform, it's crucial for us to allow everyone from creators to journalists to late-night TV hosts to express their opinions within the scope of our policies. And there's the point. Opinions can be deeply offensive, but if they don't violate our policies, they'll remain on our site. YouTube revoked ad privileges, which in my opinion was wrong because they basically said he didn't break any rules, but we're going to cave to you and take away his ads anyway. They say, but the LGBTQ community, both on YouTube and within Google, felt like executives didn't do enough. Oh, they wanted more. Stripping the money away from his business wasn't enough because he said naughty words. They wanted more. They want suffering. They want pain. You won. Get over it. Let's move on. They say that Wojcicki later apologized in an interview with Recode's Peter Kafka at the Code Conference. As if it matters. I'm really personally very sorry. YouTube has always been a home of so many LGBTQ creators. That's why it was so emotional. We've always wanted to openly support the community. The creators who launched the lawsuit believe YouTube hasn't lived up to its words of support. The lawsuit states that YouTube's control and regulation of speech on YouTube has resulted in a chaotic cesspool where popular, compliant, top quality, and protected LGBTQ plus content is restricted, stigmatized, and demonetized as shocking, inappropriate, offensive, and sexually explicit, while homophobic and racist hate mongers run wild and are free to post vile and obscene content. Can I just add, my content doesn't run afoul of any of their rules. They do the same thing to me too. The issue is the left attacked YouTube and the media. It's not just the left, but it was like the media with the left are attacking YouTube relentlessly, and YouTube said, enough. Everyone go to your room. See, that's how the game is played. You ever hear that? The kids are fighting. One kid started it, and the parent says, both of you go to your room. And the one says, that's not fair. They started. No, they started. And say, I don't care. I don't know who started. I don't care. They just care about advertisers. So when the left went to YouTube and bashed them over the head repeatedly with a club, saying, fix it, fix it, fix it, they're the bad ones. They went, enough. Both of you to your rooms and close the doors. And here we are. My content being negatively impacted and yours because media actors, and mostly on the left, did this. They did this. And even now, you have these people saying, the homophobic, racist. I'll tell you what, man. You want to get YouTube to stop? You need to stop too. Okay, I'll leave it there. Stick around. A couple more segments coming up in a few moments, and I will see you all shortly.